Welcome to the Sit Down, brought to you by Visa. Delighted to be joined by defender. How you doing, Derek? Cornelius with me.
Yeah, I'm doing very good. Very good, thank you.
Yeah, you're a stalwart now for this team. You're playing almost every game, and
Yeah.
great to see you play both games again in the recent Canadian Shield. How does it feel when you come to camp knowing that you're a regular right now?
Well, I don't know if I come to camp with that mentality really to know like a regular. So I always try to give back to the trust that's been put into me. But I'm also very aware, nothing is guaranteed. So I try and avoid that feeling of comfort and really try and push myself, every day and just try and be the best I can be, because I know that if I'm at my best, it's gonna be beneficial for the team. So I try and just keep that mentality of, staying humble and continuing to work hard.
Knowing you'll always be humble, mate. Don't worry about that. But you said about being the best. Is it fair though to say that this is the best that we've seen of you? This is the best part of your career so far?
I hope there's more to come.
But so far, you're playing the best you've played.
Yeah, you could say. I think like all footballers, we go through moments of ups and downs. But it's important to always stay consistent on the things that you're good at, and that's what I've tried to do. I've tried to always take back the feedback I've been given and just apply it to my game to be the best that I can be. And yeah, sometimes it's just things coming together at the right time or the right moment. So yeah, if I'm in the best right now, yeah, it's a tough one to answer. There's been a lot of good moments that I've had in my career, and yeah, right now I'm enjoying where I am right now, and I'm going to continue trying to get better and better.
I mean, you've had an exceptional career so far. We all know that. I remember though when you just felt like you needed an opportunity. No, I think World Cup qualifying, those major final round games, I think you just played that one game, right?
Yeah.
In Jamaica.
Yeah.
While others got their opportunity. What did you learn about yourself then where you kind of use now? Is it like now you've got that chance, you don't want to give it up? Was it perseverance, patience? How was that journey?
No, I think it's all of what you said put together. It's as you said, when you've been on the other side of things, maybe a little bit on the outside looking in, you appreciate it more when you are given those opportunities and those chances to be playing. But yeah, as you said, it's a lot of perseverance and patience. There's moments where it can be frustrating, but I think with this group, it's important to, regardless of the role that you're given, to really be a team first guy and to put the team before yourself, and that's what I try to do in those moments. So yeah, it's, as I said, there's been ups and downs throughout the journey, and I just try to stay true to who I am and continuing to get better and better. 17
games under Jesse Marsch. You've been involved with most of them. Obviously, you just missed the Suriname one through the injury. Yeah. Either yourself or Moyes has started every game so far for Canada during this tenure. What's it been like playing with Moyes as a partner?
Yeah, it's been very easy. We clicked, very very quickly. We didn't have so much experience playing together, but when we first got together, I think it was the Netherlands camp and France camp. We had tons of videos, with the coaching staff and with the back line and everything, just to get ourselves on the same page before actually, being on the pitch together. And I think, Moyes and I, we definitely tried to trust in Jesse's ideas and his system, and we tried to implement it on the pitch. And I think through time and understanding how he plays, how I play, we've been able to grow that relationship. But yeah, we know that we still have higher levels that we can reach, and hopefully just be the best backline we can be for Canada.
You've been exceptional so far. What was Copa America like for you, Derek, personally, for your confidence?
Yeah, it was really good, and I think it starts before that. We entered Copa America coming off a really good 0-0 draw to France away, against one of the best teams in the world. And yeah, I think after that game, it showed to us that we can really we can really play at those levels and compete against Argentina, Peru, Venezuela, all good opponents. So yeah, I think it starts from even before Copa America. I think again the coaching staff did a great job getting us tough opponents to give us that confidence going into Copa. Because in the past, I think we've lacked that, the competition and maybe friendly matches to give us confidence to really go into a tournament, and with that belief that we can compete and we can get results here. And then after Copa, feels like we put a stamp on that even more, against, Uruguay, Argentina, top opponents. And yeah, just hoping that we continue, building as a group and going towards a World Cup that will be flying with confidence.
You mentioned confidence, you mentioned belief. It feels like the spirit is real, no? The overall environment and camaraderie in the group. What's it like when you come back to play for this country?
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice, so many of the guys on my team are close friends with me, guys that I've known from a very young age. So I think it's always special to come back and play for Canada, but I think it's also challenging in the same way, because as much success as we've had so far, under Jesse, he challenges us each camp to be better than we were the last, and maybe if the standards before were, we've 0-0 against France, or we take Uruguay to penalties, or have a great performance against Argentina, how much better do you want? But he challenges us and really pushes us to get better in those areas, so that the next time maybe it's a win against France, or it's third place at Copa America, or a draw against Argentina. He's always trying to push us to the next level, the next level, the next level. So that's the challenge with coming back. It doesn't matter how good you were the camp before, the tournament before. He wants you to come in and be better than you were the last.
And how do you do that personally? What are some of the things that you're working on as a player with the coaching staff to go to another level?
I think honestly it comes down to the work that you're doing at club level as well, because a lot of what Jesse implements within the group, within the team, it's not stuff that you can really change, as soon as you land in for camp. You really have to be working on it on a day in, day out basis. So, whether that's our physicality, eating better, doing extra work, getting extra video, just working on your craft to every minor detail. But that comes down to what you're doing day in, day out. So, every time we leave camp, he likes to put together, a package of what he wants players, focusing on and improving. And then I think it just comes down to the individual of really doing that day in, day out at their clubs.
You mentioned the clubs. You went, obviously, a year ago from Malmo to Marseille. Not that big of a jump in alphabetical club order, I suppose, but obviously in football, a huge jump. Before we go to France and Marseille, Malmo delivered trophies for you. What was that like to get that winning mentality? How do you look back at that time?
Yeah, I think my time in Malmo was definitely a critical one in my career. It changed, as you mentioned, the mentality, because it's a club that's used to winning. It's a club that's used to lifting trophies, and it's a club that doesn't accept to not lift trophies, So I think that added pressure of, every game you play for a club like Malmo, you're expected to win, and win in a good way, And I think that really helped shape my mentality, handling pressure at Copa America, handling, big matches, tough environments. It became something that you got used to, but then also became something that you really strive towards, and you like that feeling. You like that added pressure. You like competing to win something, So yeah, I think it ultimately helped me to prepare myself for a move like Marseille.
And Marseille is another level, isn't it? What's it been like there for a year? The passion and the pressure.
Yeah, it's definitely, as you said, it's passion, it's pressure. But I try not to look at it as a negative. I try and look at it as, the pressure of playing for a club like Marseille. It's a privilege because we have such passionate and an incredible fan base that, that club is almost their life, So yeah, we carry a lot of weight on our shoulders when we put on that jersey, but we try and just use it as a way to give back, to the fan base, rather than think of it as, a negative, that there's so much pressure. But yeah, as I said, it's a privilege to have that pressure and to wear that jersey, and I try and just do my best every time I can represent a club like that.
Yeah, once again, being humble, you've had a great season for them. When you do things for them under that level of pressure, intensity, higher quality in the league, do you look back and think at times, okay, there was once a time that Derek wouldn't have been able to do that? Like, what are some of those moments where you feel like that your game is accelerated to another level by playing in that league?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if I think about that I couldn't have played at that level at one moment. I always tried to have the confidence in myself, even when I was going through tough moments. I think that's what also kept me going, that I really had that self-belief that I can play at, high, really competitive levels. But yeah, I just try to even, in Marseille, we don't have so much time to really think back, as you say, once upon a time or this upon a time, because especially with that club and with the coach we have, it's so demanding. So I just really try going each day and be the best that I can be, and really work on what's in front of me and not think too much about what's happened or what's in the past. But yeah, maybe when I'm done, then I'll look back and just take a good look at everything.
Yeah, you should. But where does it test you the most? What kind of level is it at that league? Is it physicality? Is it the speed of it? What is it that you've found in that league that you haven't found before?
Yeah, I would definitely say, as you said, the physicality, the speed in France, the speed of play, the decision making. It's really, you can tell, like even lower level teams, you know, they still offer, you know, big challenges, and you need to be switched on for each and every play. I think, yeah, that's been good for me too, because when we come back to international tournaments now, it's more normal to play at that level. So I think I've enjoyed that challenge, and really being up to it also in trainings as well. You know, we have an amazing squad with top players, you know, so to go up against them in training as well, you know, it's a challenge really every day. And then it's just about meeting those challenges and trying to improve every day.
And it brings you here to Vancouver, where you once played for the Whitecaps, and now the pursuit for a trophy. You'll be here in a year, hopefully, for the pursuit of, obviously, World Cup. But yeah, what would it mean right now for this group to go out there and, again, try and get this Gold Cup?
Yeah, you know, I think what's missing right now is, you know, that trophy, you know, say like a real international level, you know, trophy that this team can lift, you know. And I think we've proven now, you know, that we are at that level, and it's just about getting over that, maybe that last hurdle of actually being crowned champions. You know, in Copa America we get the 4th place, in Nations League we get 3rd place, so we're making steps in the right direction. But I think right now it's like, okay, we don't need to prove it to ourselves anymore that we can compete. We need to prove it to ourselves that we can win at this level. I think that's the biggest difference. But I think we're on the right path, the right track. We have guys with winning mentalities on this team, and yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before we make that next step.
You've been an enormous part of it, mate. Congratulations so far on the journey, and again, good luck this June and all throughout the Gold Cup as well.
Thank you very much, KJ.